You know, I enjoy technology that is pretty basic. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, it's nice to have a backhoe when you're digging a trench. It's nice to have a backhoe or a skid steer or whatever, but a shovel does the trick. Yes, it's significantly harder. I'm not arguing that, but I'd rather have a shovel than nothing at all. You know, if you're talking about long term, a shovel doesn't break down, it doesn't need gas, it doesn't need maintenance. A shovel's a shovel, okay? And when it comes to emergency preparedness, you need stuff like that. You need a shovel because your backhoe might run out of gas. And if there's no gas stations, after the world ends, how are you going to put gas in your backhoe or your skid steer? But there's something else. There's another tool that is equally as important as a shovel, but can also run out if not properly maintained, and that's flashlights. Now, obviously, folks, folks, obviously, flashlights are not as common as they used to be. Every single person on the planet now has a flashlight in their pocket at all times. Or not on the planet. That's kind of disrespectful because there's a lot of people who don't have phones. But everyone who does have a phone, let's just say that. Everyone who has a phone has a flashlight in their pocket. But when you talk about like a separate flashlight, they're all battery operated or internal battery, either AA, AAA, or internal battery. But there is another. There is another. And that is a crank flashlight. Now, I love technology and tools that you can use. Like I said, a shovel will never break. And a crank flashlight, yes, it can break, but you never have to worry about a crank flashlight running out of battery. That's what the crank is for. And that's what makes them so cool. It's one of those things where, you could just buy a crank, like a nice crank flashlight on Amazon or whatever, and just throw it in like an emergency kit in your car and just forget about it. You never have to worry about the batteries going bad or the batteries exploding inside of the flashlight or, it being dead when you need to go use it. A crank flashlight, not flashlight, Jesus Christ. A flashlight will always brighten your way. No pun intended, even though that was kind of fucking stupid. We're talking about flashlights, not fleshlight. Do not buy a crank fleshlight. That is not the purpose of this video. This is not what I'm going for with this episode. Flashlight, okay? A flashlight is incredibly important in a situation that you need a flashlight. Yes, you have a flashlight on your phone, but your phone can run out of power. And let's be honest, phone flashlight's convenient. It's definitely the one I use the most. But my God, it I wouldn't really call it a flashlight. It's not that good. It's good indoors, but outdoors it's shit. Okay? So it's important. It's important to use a real flashlight. And nothing is more reliable than a crank flashlight. So you can either get the squeeze ones that you squeeze them, like one of those grip strength trainers, which I've made videos on. Or you can get the crank that you like wind like a fishing pole. You wind it like a fishing reel, and that's how you charge it. And what I like about them is they work for quite a while, but if you crank them, like when you're cranking them, you'll see the light just brighten. It's so cool. They're so cool. Whoever invented those gets a pat on the back and a promotion. Just such a cool invention. I love crank flashlights. Yes, they're a little bit noisy, but as long as you're not hiding from the enemy or from wild animals, you should be fine. Should be good. But don't take my word for it. Go check them out. If you have a car, just buy one and just throw it in the back of your car and forget about it. I'd rather be in a situation where I have something and I need it, Because if you get in that situation, in the unlikely event that you do, and you don't have that, or you only have your phone, that's a big bummer. Because you need your phone for other things. You don't want to be wasting the battery on something like a light source when you could have just done a little bit of preparation in advance. So think on that. I appreciate you listening to this, and I will see you tomorrow.